Zone. So Bhydemi, what do you think?
So first I think Ice Prince had the best delivery.
Okay.
And then I think maybe it's either one of MI or Jagz. Yeah. I'm not
Really?
sure.
Okay. All right. For me, I would say Blaze because of, I'll call it like cocaine rap. She was talking about like marijuana in itself, because I think the other guys were talking maybe themselves blazing and trying to introduce themselves as well, because of course Jagz and Ice Prince were still fresh at that time. But for delivery, I like just Jagz delivery. I don't know, I might throw out something there. I think MI was trying to copy his flow because there's a lot of similarity.
But MI dropped first. Come on, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, man. Might have
Doesn't matter.
guys verse be like, yeah, I'm gonna flow like this too, and just because I mean that's just Jagz though.
Yeah, I mean like Blaze actually gave the definition of the track.
Exactly.
She kind of, basically, because the track is like a double entendre, like
true.
It's not actually the Blaze, but they're trying to hide in between, the Blaze to define what they're talking about. And she kind of do like that.
I like featuring now because her name is Blaze and the track is Blaze, and makes sense. So Bhydemi, I'll start with you. Give us your 5 favorites.
Oh, 5. I didn't think I was going to come with 5, but then just give me I think so for me, and then it's not anyhow arranged in any order. I will say my first 5. I think the tracks that I really like, I really love, let me just put it like that because I like most of the tracks on the album. First is Teaser. I like Teaser. I like the reggaeton vibe.
I like Teaser,
yeah. I mean, I always vibe to it a lot. And then I like Blaze. Blaze is super awesome. And then this are the moments that I look for in most MI projects. I like hustle. I like the dark beat, the dark theme, and the story. And then I like crowd mentality. And then I will say maybe talk about it because of the political vibe.
Okay. OJ in the house. So
it's a tough one. I mean, this album is really good. You could really relate with a lot of the songs. But if I have to go with 5 in no order, I would go with crowd mentality. It's one hard one that I really like.
Yeah.
Of course, Blaze, quite a good track. That thing in Blaze, it always gets me crazy. It was one track I really loved at the time. And then of course Teaser, with Pype and all the raga vibe and things like that. And there's one song that I also really liked at the time. I mean, now money is not to enter. Fast money, fast cars will be one track, but because it will be the 5th one that I'm supposed to be talking about, so I will switch that for Save.
Okay.
And then was
I just drop a fact about what MI said concerning money. I think there's a line where he say getting oil like crude, and then he said Terry the rapper called him and said, nah, you get oil from crude. And it's just nice that rappers at that time were checking themselves on your lyrics, and I don't think we have that anymore. It's been watered down, but that's a very good story though. Before I give my top 5 as well, I just wanted to know you guys' idea about production. What do you think about the beat selection for this project? You can go, OJ.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's quite dynamic in the sense that you get several feels, from raga to some kind of pop like sounding beats. and also like hip hop and stuff. So even at that time, MI was really looking out for something all encompassing, and you have to give him props for that.
Bhydemi, what do you think about the production?
Well, I think the production of the album is good. We had we definitely had moments from a big perspective.
Yeah, I think I agree with you guys on like the selections and jumping on different genre. My top 5 would be, number 1 would be crowd mentality, because of like the message behind it, of course. And second, because I think that was the second song I heard, and it's still there till tomorrow. It's safe, and now he was playing around with all of that. It was just unique at that time, and I still like it. Of course, I like Blaze because Jagz is like my favorite in Chocolate City, so getting the chance to listen to him. Teaser is good, where he said, "I'm the loopy president, you can be my Victor," and I had to like research who that is, and that's like the first lady of Argentina at that time. So I enjoyed things like that. If a rapper like gives you a bar, you have to like do research on it, and I love that. Fast Money, Fast Cars, that was a good vibe, and I think he was just also trying to like touch everything, as OJ said, looking for the club banger, something the hip hop heads will like. So how many have I given you now? But even if yeah, it's a good one, man. So
that's 5 already.
Yeah. But what do you think about Notte, like the lyrics?
Yeah, I mean, at that time, Anotti was like, really, really a big track. And, it's like what comes afterwards, you just start the album, and then after first, it's like Anotti. And I think it's very funny at that time. We were also thinking if it was some Ghanaian language they were speaking on it. I remember my friend and I talking about, hey, so what they're singing, and stuff like that. And the way he jumps on the track first, like great.
Yeah, I mean at that time, it was dope at that time. But listening to it now, like for this review,
even till now,
I think now, like the third verse, I wasn't really feeling it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think from my own part, it's like, I mean, it's a song that maybe back then could, but for me, it's didn't really age well. It's very sincere, and it's a song that, I don't know how to say this. I wouldn't want to see MI perform it, because like I've seen MI perform it, and he kind of wasn't doing it. Like it sounded really not so good. Like when he was performing it, I would say like that.
Yeah, I think it's also a thing with the.
But it's like the way the flow is like, it's really choppy and it's really fast, and then he's like trying to force. I mean, he performed the song when J. Cole came to Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, he was there, and he kind of, I mean, you guys can watch the video, and I wouldn't want to be a fan like watching the performance of that particular.
I mean, it's one of his
section
biggest songs in the project.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Isn't that why like artists go on stage with like backup rappers and things like that, so that they can hold their breath and keep doing their thing? I mean, how could Twista ever make a concert if he doesn't have people like, or the DJ backing him up with things like that? I think it's also stage performance is typically, I think it's another aspect that an artist works on, to really project whom they are with their songs. In my opinion, he probably just did badly with performing the song, but I think it's quite a nice song.
Yeah, it's a nice song. I think for that time, it's it kind of did what he had to do. But like I'm talking about like listening to the song right now, and like because we had to review it, the third verse did not do it for me, and I think he would agree as well, because I think there were some things they were saying that, okay, what are you saying? Like It's not MP and it's not MT, but bad.
I know T for the year 2, 3 year forever.
Yeah, but year 2, G forever. I'm like, all right, okay. Oh, but what did you just say?
Yeah, I think the song really is. It's supposed to be a bangolo, you know,
Exactly.
for bangolo guys.
Exactly. Just people just vibe to
as
it.
As long as those guys feel it.
Exactly. So it's not for everybody. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If it's for you, enjoy it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So if you guys have like a critic for the album, what would it be? OJ.
Always starting with me.
Because I like it.
Yeah, so I have the opportunity to like hear OJ out.
So what to get it down before Bhydemi comes with his diplomacy. So let's get all the controversy out.
I mean, for an album made in 2008, I would not have so much to critique about the album, except that there's still quite a lot of both commercial songs in the album. For a hip hop head like me, I would probably want to see more things like crowd mentality in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. So Bhydemi, what would your critique be?
So I mean, like, I will look at the time when the album came out, right? So when the album came out, it was like, you know, there was a little bit of story behind before the album came. Was like, you know, there was this sect of, we want to be commercial, you guys are doing very cool stuff, yeah. So when I look at the album, to be very sincere, I think it's the most balanced MI album. Now, when I say balanced, I'm not saying this is the best work. It's the most balanced album. For what it is, I think the album doesn't really fall short in doing what it is it's supposed to do, I guess. So I wouldn't really say more.
No critique?
Now you see why we always wait for you for second. Yeah. So you go last. My
critique something, man. Come on.
What I would like, first of all, I want to give shout out to MI for also like the skits. The skits were like awesome with the Up Boogie intro leading to Short Black Boy. Like that was lovely. But my critique would be, I think most of the top songs were like in a row, you know, like, and then when you are done with maybe Fast Money, Fast Cars, before also you might like snooze off a little bit before you get to maybe crowd mentality. But I think maybe a little shuffling, just put these here and there would have been good. But I agree with Bhydemi on this point as well. Like I think it's a balanced album. Like you can always find whatever you need in it and run with that. And if we can give 5 songs from the album, I mean, it's a good one. So yeah. So guys, to round this off, any words for the closing?
Well, I mean, I would like to say, like, where does it shelf in MI's catalog?
Yeah, nice one.
So, where would you put it?
Self-worth is, yeah. Well, are we call putting in what do you call it? Collaboration albums as well. So with AQ or
yeah, I mean, this is also part of his project.
Of course. Okay. I'll put it number 3. Number 3.
Okay. So which would you put that over?
I thought you wouldn't ask the question. Self-worth will be up there for me, and MI too.
Okay, interesting. Did you also put in the collaborative albums and also the mixtapes?
Oh no, I did not add the mixtapes.
You didn't add the mixtapes.
Okay. I added the mixtapes. There, leg 3 will be there.
Yeah, I mean, just like it's just album comparison, yeah.
Yeah, just album.
Okay.
I mean, for me,
Oh, sorry. Can I edit?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll take off MI2 and put the playlist Rendezvous. Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. For me, I think MI kept evolving from Talk About It to MI2, MI, and then he studied on self-worth. I mean, I'm talking of like studio albums now.
Yeah.
To work. I think he just keeps improving. So I would start from a study on self-worth and just go down. But why I would really rate this Talk About It so highly is because it's his first work. I mean, if in discovering yourself, putting yourself out there, you could do a thing like this, I think it's worth celebrating. It's like the Illmatics, there's always that thing about great artists with their first deliveries. It's like when you get to know them, being introduced to them, you find unique things about them inside that first work. I always, no matter what, even if they have like, labels getting on their nerves to do what the market wants, there's always something you find about the first body of work, the first album about artists, that will encompass, their personality 20 years later or 10 years later. And that's why that's what I found out for the song Crowd Mentality as well.
I mean, makes sense. I think to be very sincere, I will copy paste Slim's top 3 because it's like, yeah, that works for me as well. Talk About It being the intro. There were, from a hip hop standpoint, there were a few skippable albums, but the playlist was very solid again. And then self-worth.
Most definitely.
The self-worth is like the holy grail, So, and then
Am I really put in a lot into that, and this is from something coming from our angle, our side, for the hip hop world. That it's a very good one.
That's a great album.
Yeah,
that's a great album. If you guys want us to review the album, just go on the comments and
or tell us what MI album you would like us to.
Yeah, or like give us your top 3 MI albums as well.
Exactly.
Maybe
love to hear that.
The favorite songs from this project as well. And so I think we've done a very good work to this project. And so any more words before we leave, guys?
I would say have nice ones, enjoy life, take time to relax, and be you. And see you next time.
We'll say shout out to everybody who made the album what it is. MI, Jesse, the whole Chocolate City, everybody.
Bye. And MI, if you're watching, please update the song credits on Spotify and tell us who the producers for his song is, man. Like, we need to know producing the tracks, because I'm a great fan of good beats. So so subscribe, like the video, and have fun, guys.